to need you all to help us.
We can't do this on the road.
You don't want me.
No, in this case, I think we do. Of course she has a chicken.
I'm next son is called No Way Jose. And the Jose is the rooster.
A rooster.
So I have a joking to you.
Now, every now and then we are going to point at you, and when we do, we need you to shout, "No way, Jose," as loudly as you can.
So let's practice.
No way, Jose.
Well,
I
almost.
think we can do that.
Try again. Ready?
No way.
That's as loud you guys can say. One more time. No way, Jose.
No
No
way.
way, Jose.
That was better. All right, we'll take it.
We should have brought the
All right.
Once upon a time, there was a rooster named Jose.
No way.
Jose was a very proud rooster who loved to sing. One day, Jose received a letter from his uncle Perico. Perico, by the way, is Spanish for parrot. So we've got two versions. Jose was very excited about this letter because it was an invitation. His uncle Perico was getting married, and Jose was certain that everyone at the wedding would want to hear him sing. So the morning of the wedding, Jose woke up bright and early, got his feathers brushed, got himself looking his very best, and he started down the road without even eating breakfast. He soon realized that that was not a good idea because he was very hungry. So hungry, in fact, that when he saw a bush on the side of the road from which was hanging the biggest, juiciest, plumpest, ripest, reddest raspberry that he had ever seen in his life, he could not stop himself from going over and gobbling it down. As soon as he had done this, he knew he had made a mistake, because now his beak was sure to be covered in bright red berry juice. And sure enough, when he looked at his reflection in a puddle on the side of the road, his beak was bright red. Well, I can't go to my uncle's wedding looking like this, he thought. I've got to clean myself up. If only I had a towel or a washcloth or something to wipe this off with. And then Jose got an idea. Jose walked over to the grass on the side of the road and he said, "Grass, grass, clean my feet. I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." But the grass just said,
No way, Jose.
well, Jose wasn't going to let a little thing like that stop him. He knew there had to be something he could do to get this grass to do what he wanted. So he looked around a bit more and he noticed in a field beside the road was a sheep. Jose marched over to that sheep and he said,
Sheep, sheep, eat the grass won't clean my feet. And I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico.
But the sheep just looked back at Jose and said,
Hey, Jose!
well, Jose still wasn't ready to give up. He looked around a bit more and he noticed slinking through the forest nearby was a wolf. Jose walked over to that wolf and he said,
Wolf, wolf, bite the sheep won't eat the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet. And I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico.
but the wolf just said,
No way, Jose!
well, Jose still wasn't ready to admit defeat. He looked around some more and he noticed sleeping on the porch of the farmhouse was a dog. So he walked over to that dog and he said,
Dog, dog, chase the wolf won't bite the sheep, and the sheep won't clean the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet. And I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico.
the dog just looked up at Jose and said,
No way, Jose.
Jose still wasn't ready to give up. He looked around a bit more and he noticed sitting in a chair on that porch was a man. Jose walked up to that man and he said,
Man, man, eat the dog won't chase the wolf, and the wolf won't bite the sheep, and the sheep won't clean the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet. And I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico.
but the man just looked down at Jose and said,
No way, Jose.
well, Jose had come this far. He was not going to give up now. So he thought, and 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 then he thought of something. Jose remembered that every time the man walked past the graveyard, he would pull his coat up around his neck. He would walk a little bit faster. He would cross himself, and he would say a little prayer. Jose realized that the man was afraid of the ghosts in the graveyard. Jose wasn't afraid of no ghosts. He marched into that graveyard as bold as anything, and he said,
Ghost, ghost, scare the man won't feed the dog, and the dog won't
"Take the wolf,
and the wolf won't bite the sheep, and the sheep won't eat the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet. I'm going to the wedding of my Uncle Benito."
Well, those ghosts, they rose up out of their graves and they went, that man, his eyes got as big as plates. He jumped up and he grabbed a stick. He started beating that dog, and the dog said, "Yip, yip, 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 yip." And the dog ran over and started chasing the wolf, and the wolf said, "Oh!" And the wolf ran over and started biting the sheep, and the sheep said, "Nah!" And the sheep ran over and started eating the grass, and the grass went swish, 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 and it cleaned off Jose's feet. Jose was so proud of himself. He knew he was ready to go to his uncle's wedding once more. So he marched down that road, and he sat in the church with all the other people, and he watched his uncle get married. And at the reception afterward, Jose stood up and said, "My beloved Uncle Benito, all you fine people here at his wedding, would you like to hear me sing you a song?" And all the people at that wedding, they said,
No way, Jose.
the end.